Innovation and originality can be a tricky thing to come across in all avenues of entertainment media. But I feel like specifically in gaming, especially now, it's commonplace to call out any lack of innovation. Whereas in movies, your average person will more than likely watch 5, 10 movies in a row, and where you can accurately guess what's gonna happen from scene to scene, and you can know exactly how everyone is gonna act, because acting isn't exactly acting like real life people. It's just kind of its own weird caricature, and yet it's supposed to be convincing. I don't know, but that's its own separate issue. What I'm getting at is that a lack of innovation in the cinematic space doesn't seem to bother fans of that medium as much. It doesn't really tend to hurt the movie's Rotten Tomato score if what they're doing has been done 10 times a year since the 80s. And even in a gaming space where as of late it's become a thing to point out the medium's lack of inventiveness, I don't actually think that innovation is valued. People do not care about originality or artistry. I'm saying that as a person who basically has their entire life revolve around those things. I love art in all of its forms, and let me tell you, no one cares. So then why the sudden obsession with critiquing innovation and originality? Well, games and gaming have grown really big over the past decade or so, with certain stats starting to now be common knowledge throughout the whole gaming landscape. You know, stats like gaming makes more profits than movies, books, and music combined, or that GTA 5 is the most profitable entertainment media thing ever. I think it kind of subconsciously makes gaming feel like the big establishment behemoth that it is to a lot of people. And there are an entire subset of people that when something gets popular, they turn away. You know, your contrarian crowd. And this comes into play because most of the ire when it comes to critiquing game innovation is thrown at the super high budget AAA gaming space. Now, I'm not going to tell you that AAA gaming is so inventive right now, and everywhere you look there's a new groundbreaking idea. I'm only saying I think the people who try to point out a lack of that don't actually care. I think they don't like that it's popular. And this plays into our themes of originality. People like to feel original and different. One of the easiest ways to do this is to look at what's popular and shun or berate it. Listen, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is no doubt the biggest thing in movies currently, right? The Marvel movies are commercially successful and critically adored. But I bet you know someone or have come across someone that swears up and down that they're all bad movies and they won't watch that garbage. This is just something that comes with immense popularity and being on top. People will nitpick your flaws and uphold your opponents for the smallest triumph. To further drive home my point, I'll head back to the gaming space. As I said before, the narrative surrounding gaming is that the big budget AAA titles are all soulless cash grabs devoid of any innovation or artistic merit. Conversely, the bulk of gamers and games media will point you toward indie gaming as a notable hub of innovative ideas. But this isn't true. The indie space has the same copycat reskin mentality that AAA has. The difference is they're just copying different things. You look at AAA gaming and you go, oh, it's all just first-person shooter, live service, battle royale, or single-player, Sony over-the-shoulder cinematic spectacle, right? Well, allow me to direct your attention to indie gaming, an open trench for creativity-devoid devs to dump their Metroidvania roguelike Souls-like Zelda-esque garbage into. We all know AAA gaming has a problem. I don't think it's as much of a problem as it's cracked up to be. AAA games are just popular. I don't even think you can look at a list of indie titles and go 5 games without seeing one of the aforementioned subgenres. It's an unforgiving bombardment of 16-bit, low-budget Metroidvanias and Dark Souls clones. I mean, come on, look at Eldest Souls. They literally were so uninventive, they couldn't think of another word besides souls. And that's a bit of a joke. I'm sure Elder Souls is great and does enough to differentiate itself from its obvious inspiration. But look at a game like Tunic. This came out recently and I recently played it. You look at it and you say, that looks like Zelda. Yeah, but not only does it look like it plays like Zelda, the character's outfit, his tunic and shield, are basically a carbon copy of Link's. Like, dude, why would you make your character have the same exact color tunic as Link? Imagine not being able to think of a second color. Oh no, blue, pink, I'm running out, orange. Bro, come on. Like, Jesus Christ. And like I said, I played this game. It's a solid game, but it doesn't do much in terms of feeling particularly unique. It's just another Zelda Souls wannabe. And look, I'm not dunking on indies so hard right now because I'm the champion defender of the AAA corporation or anything. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just saying they both suffer from this issue, but everyone already knows about it in AAA gaming. I mean, Call of Duty basically drops the same game every year, and all the failed Destiny 2 clones, have me at this point feeling like I don't ever want to loot or shoot anything ever again. Like, really. But listen, originality is sparse throughout all entertainment media. These are businesses that ultimately want to make money. So it's no wonder why they do something tried and safe instead of making a new way. But there is definitely some hope. Artists will always find a way to make art and get it to us. There are inventive and unique games on both sides of the fence. I mean, because AAA gaming is such a machine and a money-hungry one at that, you may think there aren't any inventive big-budget games, but that's just not true. Like, look at Death Stranding. A hugely expensive and weird game polarized by its unique gameplay. By all accounts, Death Stranding flat out shouldn't exist, but it does. If you like indie games and you want something that feels fresh, I'd implore you to take a look at Pyre if you haven't already. Pyre, I think, was made by Supergiant Games. This was before they made Hades. And Pyre is immensely original. It sort of blends text adventure and sports simulation games. I know it sounds weird, but that's what's happening. So it blends those together, and it's a breath of originality, But even things like Returnal, to a degree, in the AAA space, with its unique implementation of bullet hell in a 3D environment. Indivisible in the indie space, the way it sort of weaves real-time comboing into an RPG system. There is innovation happening. I agree they may be too few and far between, but I promise you haven't played everything. There's probably a ton of cool and different shit out there for you to play. But at the end of the day, innovative ideas don't get brought to fruition a lot of the time because companies and devs simply don't want to risk making less money or losing money. I think if you want to get through them, you probably have to, you got to vote with your wallet. You got to use your voice if that's actually what you want. You're probably always on Twitter and Instagram arguing with people and trying to tear down others anyway. While you're on there, how about, you use the voice that we've all been allotted and, let these devs know what you want then. Respectfully, of course. Don't be those weird fucks sending death threats and doing stupid shit, okay? But you can't complain that this year's Call of Duty is the same as last year's if you've said that about the last 10 Call of Duties and you bought them all. Of course they're gonna assume that that's what you want. You bought them all. So yeah. this was my little 2 cents on some games industry discourse. It's Waifu Selector. Feel free to tell me how stupid I am. Even if you do, I still hope you find peace, but more importantly, I hope you go out and get you some maidens. Alright.